Alright, so I already recorded this. I spent 28 minutes recording this entire tier list video just to realize my mic was muted the entire fucking time, so that is so amazing. Anyways, let's get started. This is not in order right now, but I'm gonna be ranking them in order. So, Demon Slayer is the first anime that I've watched, and is going straight up to the top. People say it doesn't have a proper story, but I just got one thing to say about that. I don't fucking care. Like the backstory for the characters, I feel should make up for the lack of story. Um, I do like the characters because they do got some pretty good backstories. Like Rengoku, I like his backstory. Every character, well, almost every character has a backstory, and I like that. Um, the main premise is that Tanjiro, his family gets fucking murdered by demons. The only survivor is him and his sister, but his sister has become a demon. And pretty much he manages to keep her restrained from eating humans. So the two of them kind of go on these adventures together. On hunting demons. Anyways, next up is Jujutsu Kaisen. When I first watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I didn't really like it that much. I would have put it here. But I did give it another chance. Yeah, I like its characters. It's hard to explain what the premise. Basically, Yuji Itadori eats one of Sukuna's fingers. Then he gets dragged into Jujutsu sorcery and goes through nothing short of hell. That's pretty much the main premise. Also, quick message to the Gojo fangirls. Shut the fuck up. Just get like a stitching needle. Pierce that through your lips and just stitch your mouth shut. Please, no one wants to hear you speak. Next up, Chainsaw Man. That's going like A tier. Listen, I really like Chainsaw Man. It's a good anime, and I hear people say like, "Oh, Denji isn't a proper protagonist. He doesn't got the proper motivations." Like, oh, his only motivation is his desire for sex. The thing y'all motherfuckers seem to forget about teenagers, which I myself am a teenager, we mix up our desire. We mix up our desire for sex with our desire to be loved. That's the thing. Like with Denji, he is confusing his desire to be loved with his desire to have sex. And that's what's making people laugh at him, is because, if he was crying in a corner saying that he wants to just touch a pair of titties, people would laugh at that. But if he was crying in a corner saying that he just wants to be loved, people would sympathize with him. When he says he wants to touch a pair of tits, what he's really feeling is that he just wants to be loved. And he's being used. Like, people will say, oh, he's so lucky. No, he is being groomed. Makima is grooming him. He is a victim. And also, Makima's fucking terrifying. Also, Makima fanboys, please shut your fucking mouth. Same thing with Gojo fangirls. Gojo fangirls and Makima fanboys need to shut their fucking mouths, you know what I mean? Anyways, I like the characters in Chainsaw Man. Denji's backstory is honestly really depressing. His father died, but his father owned a debt or owed a debt. And and Denji pretty much has to pay that debt back to what are they called? Yakuzas? I don't know, like some Japanese mafia. So he has to do devil hunting with his pet chainsaw dog thing, chainsaw devil dog. But things go south when the Yakuza, I think that's what they're called, when the Yakuza betray him, and he pretty much gets stabbed to death. But he gets these chainsaw powers thanks to his little pet dog, and gets his revenge. But then gets taken in by Makima, the leader of the Devil Hunters, and he's given a place to stay. He's given food. He's given, like, you know what I mean? But then he ends up getting like used by Makima. Like he's seen as nothing more than a pet to her, and most motherfuckers like I know y'all motherfuckers like Donnie mommies. Honestly, low key though, I kind of do too. But like, I don't want someone to talk down to me like I'm not human. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's going in A tier. Next up is Berserk. Guts' backstory is honestly one of the most tragic things I've ever heard about. Like he was born from a hanging corpse. He fell out of his mother's hanging corpse. And he was pretty much seen as like a bad omen. And he was taken in by these mercenaries. And the leader of the mercenaries was named Gambino, and I think he had like a lover. I don't know her name, I don't remember her name. And Gambino's girlfriend was like a mother figure to Guts. But she died, and Gambino saw that as Guts' fault because he saw Guts as like a bad omen. So what he did was just send Guts off to battle over and over again, repeatedly. And he wasn't even, like, Guts wasn't even 10 years old. Like, Gambino was expecting Guts to die in the first few days, but Guts just kept getting more skilled and more skilled as a warrior. Then one day, a man, Gambino sells Guts off for a day to some fucking pedophile. And Guts gets molested. And Guts, he's devastated by this, which anyone would. And like he cries to Gambino, asking why he would do this. Things escalate, and Guts ends up killing Gambino. And Guts is forced to run away from the gang he called family, that saw him as nothing more than a bad luck charm purse. And he's left to survive on his own. And by the age of 15, he falls in with this gang called the Band of the Hawks. And they take him in, and he finally feels like he has a place to stay. He finally feels like he has a family. Then the leader of the gang, Griffith, may his name be forgotten forever, sacrifices all of them, every single member of the gang, and rapes Casca right in front of Guts. But Guts gets saved by Skullboy, or Skull Knight, whatever his name is. Shout out to Skullboy. And gets pulled out of there last minute. That's pretty much the main premise of the anime. The story continues in like the books. I actually have like 4 of them. I got like I've read like a good few volumes. I'm at like volume 32. They're pretty good. I would recommend that you read them. Anyways, Attack on Titan. Yeah, it's on a tier of its own, I'm not gonna lie. you just have to watch it to understand. It is such a good story, and it's so emotional. You just gotta watch it in order to understand, okay? The characters are amazing. Yes, there are a few plot holes, but with every story, there's always a plot hole. Anyways, Death Note goes right below Chainsaw Man and A tier. Death Note was really good for like the first 25 episodes, but things got a little less interesting. The final episode was really fucking good. But the second intro was fucking abysmal. Like, seriously. I don't like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The characters are pretty interesting. And no, you cannot fix Misa. The main premise is that an 18-year-old boy named Light Yagami gets this thing called the Death Note that pretty much fell into the human. You write someone's name down into it, they will die within 40 seconds. And the main premise is that it's like a detective kind of thing. Like, Light and L are like chronic overthinkers. They just like me for real. But they overthink on a whole new level than what I do. So yeah, it's pretty good. My mom liked it too. Anyways, moving on, we got, which one was it? Well, I actually watched My Hero Academia before I watched Attack on Titan. I would put like if like we were ranking based off of fan base, I would put My Hero Academia at a fucking Z, because they are abysmal. But besides that, it's pretty good. The main premise is that our main character, Midoriya, or Deku, or Izuku, whatever his name is bullied because he has no powers. In this world, everyone has these powers or quirks, but I just prefer to call them powers. And he encounters this hero named All Might, the like most powerful hero there is, and asks him, "Is it possible for me to become a hero despite not having any powers?" And All Might pretty much just plucks out a strand of hair from his head and just tells him to eat his strand of hair and he'll get powers. And that's what happens. Midoriya gets All Might's powers, but every time he uses those powers, whether it be to like flick something or throw a fist, that bone is broken. If he flicks something, his finger's broken. And he pretty much goes into this hero school to learn how to become a hero. Bleach. I'm putting it above My Hero Academia. I do like honestly, I do like its characters. I've only watched like 30 episodes, so like I'm not completely finished with it yet. It might go up to like S tier later, but right now it's at the top of B tier so far. It's because I haven't finished it. I've watched like 30 episodes. I don't know if I said that already. The animation is honestly not that good. And I don't know how it can't, like, why it's not that good. Like, Death Note has better animation than Bleach, yet Death Note came out like a year before it. And it was like in 2006, I think Death Note came out. And that's fucking hilarious, honestly. The animation isn't the best. Like, animation-wise, I'd give it like a D. The main premise, pretty much Ichigo becomes a Soul Reaper. That's kind of it. he like Ichigo gets these powers of a Soul Reaper from a Soul Reaper named Rukia. And she pretty much has to follow him around until he agrees to become a Soul Reaper or something like that. And she just lives in his closet. And he didn't make a move on her once. You got a girl living in your closet, and you're not gonna make a single move, bro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You gotta be gay at that point. Moving on. We got Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Straight up to the top. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is so good. You can easily binge it. It's just 10 episodes long. It's on Netflix. Watch it. Main premise. I don't know if this counts as spoilers or not. I'm gonna just explain what happens in like the first 2 episodes. Pretty much, David Martinez gets bullied at school. His mother dies, and his bully makes fun of his mother's death. So he gets his cybernetic enhancement and goes back to school and completely jumps the bastard. And gets kicked out of school for that. And he ends up falling in love with this woman named Lucy, who's like in her early 20s. He's 17, by the way. And becomes like an edge runner, pretty much. He becomes like a criminal in Night City. It's really good, even though the age gap between him and Lucy could be seen as a bit pedophilic, but me personally, if I was David, you know what I mean, I ain't passing up an offer like that. That ReZero. Go straight to the top. In S tier. Basically, the main story, or premise, is that Subaru gets transported to this fantasy realm, where basically he doesn't have any powers like in most isekai animes. I have not watched a single isekai other than ReZero. And he has this ability called the Return by Death, where there will be a checkpoint every once in a while, and if he dies, he'll be sent back to that checkpoint. But in between his checkpoint and his death, whatever happens in between that checkpoint and his death never happens. So if he met someone in between that checkpoint and his death and goes back to that checkpoint, it'll be like he never met that person. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. Yeah, it's really good, but it's really dark. It's brutal, because he does go through hell in the show. Like, he's on par with Guts when it comes to suffering. Like, if we're talking like physical suffering, then I'd say Subaru gets it, but mental, I'd probably say it is Guts. But then again, he did get anally brutalized. But then again, Subaru did also get anally brutalized by a fucking bunny, as it crawled up his asshole and ate his insides out. Yeah. They don't show that in the anime, don't worry. But the anime is really good, and I definitely would recommend it. Yeah. Anyways, Solo Leveling. This is gonna piss people off. This is gonna piss you neckbeards off that can't take an opinion. S tier. Listen. I know people say, oh, it doesn't have a story. Oh, it's just a 15-year-old's edgy power fantasy. Well, I'm an edgy 15-year-old, and I let me enjoy my fucking power fantasy, bro. The main premise is that there are these groups of people called hunters. S-rank hunters are the strongest. E-rank hunters are the lowest rank of hunters. And our main character, Jinwoo, is the weakest E-rank, weakest hunter in all of existence. But he almost dies in a dungeon raid, and suddenly he gets like a reawakening, and there's a system that allows him to level up and get more and more stronger, which means he would have infinite potential. And infinite potential means he could probably go toe-to-toe with Goku. Not at the point in the anime, though. Not at that point. I don't even know if that happens, like, if he gets strong enough to, like, become a multiversal being. But it would be hypothetically possible. One Piece. Now look, I've only watched 26 episodes of One Piece. And at first I thought it was, like, D tier, maybe C tier. It's, like, in, like... Wait, do I put it... It's above Death Note, to be honest. It is pretty good. At first I was like, yo, why are there so many fucking episodes? Like, it will most likely go up because, like, you know, there's like 1,000 fucking episodes, so, like, if I ever make a part 2 or part 10, because, look, I'm probably going to be on this for a while, they'll most likely move up. I've heard people say it's better than Attack on Titan, which... we'll see about that. But yeah, it's good. It's good. My favorite character is Zoro. I do like the characters in One Piece. Luffy, it's a bit annoying at times, but he cool. He cool, you know. The animation, for its time, I would honestly put it at S tier. But compared to, like, Demon Slayer, it, like, if we were to compare the animation to, like, modern animation, it would probably be down at E tier. But its animation is pretty good for its time. And from what I have heard, its animation in, like, the later seasons is comparable on par with Demon Slayer. And I'm honestly hyped as fuck to see how good the animation is there. It's really good. I would recommend you watch it. Like, how I got into it is that I would just edit a video. I would be editing and I would just have One Piece playing in the background. And if it got interesting, I would kind of stop editing and watch. Anyways, Kaiju number 8 is going up to S tier. I only watched the first season. It's really good. The main premise is pretty much, like, our main character, I think his name was Kafka. Yeah, Kafka. He's like this cleanup crew. He works for a cleanup crew. Like, he cleans up after these kaiju hunters, basically, and he cleans up after, like, kaiju hunters. Like, like, every time kaijus get slayed, there's always a mess, and he wants to do more than that. He wants to hunt kaijus. He's tried hundreds of times to become part of the organization to hunt kaijus, but always gets rejected. But one day he finally gets in. But what happens is he becomes like kind of like a kaiju. Like, he gets a kaiju inside of him. Pause. And like, he's able to shift. He's a kaiju shifter, pretty much. It's like Eren Yeager, you know? How he can turn into a kaiju. Like, how Eren Yeager can turn into a titan. That's what Kafka can do. And he tries to keep it a secret from everyone, because he's scared that he might, like, be, like, turned into a science experiment or killed. Honestly, he's smarter than me. I would be like, yo, like, I would go in, I'd be like, yo, guys, guess what? I can turn into a kaiju, y'all. Check this out. And I would I'd probably die. Yeah. I'm not very smart. Anyways, I'm gonna rearrange this. So, straight to the top of S tier is going to be Berserk. Then, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Then I'd honestly say ReZero. Want to put Jujutsu Kaisen above Demon Slayer, but I love them both equally. It's going above Demon Slayer. Solo Leveling stays, and this stays. Chainsaw Man stays at the top of A tier, then One Piece and Death Note. Like, Death Note's bottom of A tier. Bleach is top of B tier, and My Hero Academia is bottom of B tier. And that's pretty much it. Check out the wallpaper, y'all be fucking with it. It's Jujutsu Kaisen. I even got the You Are My Special music in the background, you know, that should be going. Hold on, y'all, I gotta check this out. What is this? Some titties, bro! Yo, I'm screenshotting this, y'all. Oh, just give me a sec real quick. You know what I mean? Just capture that, you know what I mean? I'm beating my dick to that later, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh. Just some gooner shit, you know what I mean? Yo, what game it is, though? I'm playing this. I'm not playing this.